and this is where it gets interesting for two reasons. To me, and the UFC needs stars right now. Like, they're predicated on stars. That ship does not go far without stars. So they put up the bat signal because Ronda, right, got murked. Brock Lesnar was like, I'm good. I'm going to stay in WWE. Makes sense. I don't blame him. So you have your two biggest stars out. Connor's playing grab ass with Mayweather. We don't know what's going to happen. That fight might happen. We'll talk about that for sure with you. But we don't know. But he's out. So your three biggest headliners are out. So I feel like WWE is like, what the fuck? What are we going to do, man? Put up the GSP signal. Put it up. Let's see if he answers. So to me, the only red flag there is, did they offer him so much money? And George was like, God, it's hard to turn down. Does he want to do it? Like, is it in his nature where he wants to compete? Because walking away from the sport for 3 years, especially after that Johnny Hendricks fight, and he felt disrespected by Dana, and then now he comes back. I don't know, man. Like, why come back, George?
I think, well, one,
it has to be money.
I think it's a little bit column A, column B. I think he's still only like 33, 34 years old. So technically,
some damage though.
Yes. And no one has, especially because he was a champion for so long and all those decisions, no one has taken more hours on work and hits to the head, and he does bruise like a Georgia peach.
Yeah.
So with that, there is some validity to it, but I think at the same time, everyone's got a price. People's prices are just different, right?
Oh, he called me. I'm like, I'll never fight. How much?
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll fight Hunt. You know,
Let's
like
do this week. I'm ready.
Some monster.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll take Francis on. God damn it. You know, trying to get that house on the beach.
Exactly.
I'll do whatever.
Exactly. You can put another level on that house on the beach.
To me, I'm just a little scared as a friend of George's. Like, you didn't want to fight for so long. You always talk about the Under Armour deal. They're so desperate for stars. What did they throw at you? We have the same agent, so I'm going to find out. So they threw what at you to make you go, I'll take that fight. And then to your point where you're like, yeah, I think Michael Bisping's the easiest fight. They, because obviously George had a say on who he fights, so maybe they're thinking the same thing. And let's say he wins.
Yeah.
Then what?
Champion?
Hold on, Elias. You're telling me George could compete against a guy like fucking
Yoel Romero?
What then? What do we do? Run, George! Fucking run!
I am announcing I am going down to welterweight.
I thank you for the money. I am out. Yeah, like, what are we gonna do?
Yeah, no, it does throw everything kind of up in the air, and it's one of those things where I guess we'll see. That's for better or worse what the UFC in some way has always been. It's reactionary. It's reactionary to these things. You can say that they built Conor, they built Ronda, but that was a reaction of this person coming here.
Correct.
So I think that's what the product is, and it's multiplied when you add in a talent agent.
True, and I will 100% buy the fight.
Me too.
And I hate on it a little bit, but it's very clearly to me a cash grab.
Well,
that's all it is.
Yes.
Because George's been off 4 years. Bisping fought. Let's go through Bisping's fight for his title. He fought, he beat Luke Rockhold in 8 days. Then he fights old Dan Henderson. I love
Dan Henderson.
So let's get real.
Captain America anytime. But he does have that right.
I know, and he did land it. And I love that fight.
times.
But it's just like, and then he's fighting Georges St-Pierre. Think about what it does think if you're Yoel Romero, Jacare, or Luke Rockhold. You're like, what about us?
Yeah, Jacare specifically. Jacare, I feel so horrible.
Think about Yoel Romero.
Yeah.
I mean, so it just puts it all on pause. So if you're a purist of the sport and they go, no, we get that, we're going to do George instead. It's like, dude, what do we do, man?
Sport entertainment. I told you.
You're right.
That's what it is.
And that's never been more true.
Yep.
And then, okay, so in this wild world we live in mixed martial arts, let's say George beats Bisping, which is a very highly possibility, right? Let's say that happens. Then what do we do? You don't have a champ. George won't fight at 85. He's not fighting Yoel. He's not fighting Jacare. I love George. I don't think he can do anything. But beat those guys at that level. It's just not for him.
Then
what
we
do
throw
we do?
in Anderson. Then we
get a super fight with Anderson?
If we're going all
for
in.
For the 85 belt?
Exactly. If we're going all in.
God damn it.
If we're going all in.
You got dad bod. All right. You might.
Yep.
And then the other guys are just like,
the
other guys are like, all right, I guess we'll. But I can see UFC going, intern belt for you, intern belt for you.
Intern belts for everyone.
Yeah, party it up, man.
Yeah. When in Rome.
When in Rome. Fuck it. Let's see what happens. It's just, and like I said, I love the fight. I'll watch it. It just feels a little bit like a cash grab, and it just shows you that the rankings, they don't mean too much. Well, like you better figure something else out, man. If fucking Expendables 19 asks you to do it, you better do it. because then we can help sell some other shit. If Dancing with the Stars comes up to you, you specifically is like, hey, we need that main on fucking NBC, you're going to start fucking moonwalking.
These hips don't lie.
They don't,
They don't lie, my friend.
Would you do it?
2 years jazz, 3 years tap.
Really?
Well, you can learn anything on YouTube.
Like, damn, well, there's the sell.